Hello, everybody, and welcome to this vlog. As you can see, the acoustic foam behind me has been falling off the walls because I didn't use good enough glue for it. So anyway, let me. All right, that's better. So I've been thinking the last few days about a lot of things, really, and I wanna just put them all in one video. So one aspect that I want to talk about is groove. Now, groove is used by musicians in many different contexts. The way I use the word groove is to explain a feeling that you get when um, the the interplay between two or more musicians works. Like when you're playing together with other people, and the thing works by itself. It's not about playing in time with the other guy or using the same harmony or whatever technique. It's not about this. It's about, for some reason, it works. And sometimes you have groove and sometimes you don't have groove. And when you don't have groove, you can work really hard and maybe eventually reach a point where there is something approximating a groove. But I wouldn't bet on it. And when there is groove, it's there. It's just there. It's and it makes life appear worth living. It's like a self-evident indicator that it's the closest thing you can get to the Bible quote, and God saw that it was good. It's about this. So I was thinking about this more abstractly because I was having trouble with trying to understand, like, how should I organize my music life here with regards to which bands should I make, which bands can I make, how should I? Because if, I'd meet people and sometimes we'd play and there'd be no groove, and then we'd try out a new idea and suddenly there was groove. So I understood that it's not about taking something that doesn't work and trying to build upon that. It's finding something that already works and just trying to scale it, magnify it, or level it up or develop it. So it's always about this. Find what already works and then fight the good fight to make that even more magnificent and incredible. And just as much meaning there is in working on something that already works, that the same amount of anti-meaning is in the opposite. Maybe that if you're trying to work on something that doesn't work, you're wasting time, you're wasting resources, and you're wasting your spirit, in because you put yourself in a situation where you think that life's not worth living, but it might be one day. So it's very hard on your soul, or it can be very hard on your soul. Anyway, that's just a thought. Everything is thinking out loud. Nothing is set in stone. I remember one time I was in the beginning of a relationship with a girl, and I was telling this older lady about it, and I was telling her how I have to be much more active than the other person in the relationship, um, and how ideally I'd like the other person in the relationship to be equally or more active to me. And the lady said, hearing this, she said, the way it was in the beginning, that's roughly how it's going to be for the entirety of the relationship. And I think, I don't know if that's true, but if it is true, maybe there is. Was it true after all? I think it was, yeah. I think it was. In any case, the if it's true, maybe you can make an abstraction and say that if you find yourself in a certain situation, in a new environment, whatever that might be, the way it was in the beginning, that's roughly how it's going to be with regards to what works and what doesn't work. So I noticed that the video I made about 1 month in Lisbon, and then I made a video on 3 months in Lisbon, and I noticed that what worked almost straight away was expanded upon, but what didn't work never worked. Like like the whole music thing of like I remember saying how it's hard to meet musicians outside of Tejo Bar for me, and that was ameliorated to quite an extent. Now I'm able to meet these musicians and play with them and try to make bands and projects with them. So like music is a something that constantly develops, and I can really see a future for myself in with regards to music here. Like if I work diligently and cautiously and smart guy, if I work and I become really competent player, then in like 5 years I can be playing with top guys and maybe even supporting myself financially a lot through that, if not entirely, in 5 years' time. But so that's one thing that works a lot. Music works a lot, but other things don't really work. Like, and I realized that I'm not just musician. Like that is an aspect of me. That's a very big and important aspect to me, but that's not the extent of my personality. That's not where it stops. I'm not just a musician. I'm a human being. I have there's a wholeness. There's a wholeness to me that needs to be accounted for when you say, okay, I'm looking for balance, for happiness, for an entire thing, for meaning. So I'm thinking a lot of that. I There's no groove with women for me here, and that's not an accusation. It's just an observation. Like for me, the way me and the women I meet here work, like the interplay between us, it doesn't work for me. I don't understand it. I don't feel comfortable with it. I feel that it's a stupid game. That's the best way to explain it. I feel that okay, let's say because there is a reason, right? Let's say in 5 years time I'm top guy playing with musicians with regards to music. I've developed it a lot. What do I win exactly? What do I win? If I work hard, and what do I win? Financial independence. Maybe. That's good. It's good to be financially independent. It's not a it's not a bad goal at all. It's a noble goal. But okay, be financially independent to do what? Survive. It's good to survive, but hopefully we're aiming for something more than mere survival. Okay. What do I win? Do I win access to women? Maybe women like you more when you are more competent or you have the status of but I don't like them. Like it sounds wrong no matter which way you put it, but I don't care. It's my life, whatever. Worst case, I'll kill myself. I don't care. Um the question is not how to make myself attractive to women. The question is how do I meet a woman that's attractive to me? Because I've met women here that their priorities, I just don't get their priorities at all, man. Or like I can superficially understand them, but it's like really that was the best you could come up with? That was the level of your philosophical sophistication, so to speak? It sounds pretentious when you say it like this, but I don't mean it in a philosophical way at all. I mean it in a very practical way that just accounts for the future, you know? Because it's like I'm meeting 30 something year old women and they're telling me like you want to get married, you're crazy. And I'm like, don't you? And they're like, no, not at all. And they're like 30 something and I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do in your life? You're not some crazy genius that needs to be spending all of the life in a laboratory or like a super creative person who needs to be spending their life in their studio to like some people might be better off not having children, not having families, so that they can dedicate themselves to some genius level work, right? There is people like this, exceptional individuals, but you're not an exceptional individual in any way whatsoever. You're just a normal person who for some reason does not see the utility in making a family or getting married or partaking in high resolution intimate affairs. And I think, no, I don't think, I know it's stupid. Man, it's stupid. It's like, get your fucking life together, finally. Because you know what? It's about the morals of this society. It's about morals. And it's not, I'm not speaking as a moral authority or as someone who I'm not like, I guess I am kind of doing this, finger wagging, but it's not coming from a place of, it's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from a place of, let's not burn in hell together. It's coming from a place of, let's live good fucking life. But then, of course, you can't know if what you consider as hell is hell for other people. Maybe they enjoy their hedonism, which I find it. I don't. There's no way you can convince me that's true, but I have somewhere to account for that. In any case, I believe that what I've seen so far from the societies in Lisbon is all about hedonism and short term and low resolution and quick and easy going and but life is not about all these things. Life for me is not about, oh, I'm gonna work and then make money so that I can sustain my lifestyle of drinking every night or in the weekends or partying or playing music in a very particular context. And I think that also leads to psychopathy in some sense. Hedonism inevitably leads to psychopathy because if you're not playing a reciprocal game with people that becomes higher and higher resolution across time, then what you're left with is interchangeability of the participants. If you're not building towards anything, then it stays at a low enough resolution, the game you're playing, so that each of the participants you can always exchange with somebody else. So you're not building a profound relationship with anybody because you can instantly replace everybody with anybody else. Anybody can play a hedonistic game. Anybody can be your one-night stand partner, or almost, but virtually anybody, you know? And when people are interchangeable, that's not good. People are not interchangeable, or shouldn't be. But if you play games that render people interchangeable, you're playing stupid games. You're not giving people the opportunity to develop into active, irreplaceable members of society. You're rendering them gears in a machine that eats them up and spits them out. And you can blame that, oh, I'm a gear of the machine thing. You can blame it on capitalism, or you can take fucking responsibility and say, I'm treating everybody else, and I'm treating myself even, I'm treating every human I know as a cog in a fucking machine of my own creation at every possible level in every conceivable game. That's what you get when you don't play high resolution games. When you don't play games that become more and more high resolution, you treat people as interchangeable. All right. I meet women who have relationships with people that are like twice their age, and it's like, what are you gonna do with this guy? Are you gonna marry him? Are you gonna like have children with him? And if not, what are you doing exactly? Like you're, and of course it's like, oh, I'm learning about myself, I am exploring. It's like, what the fuck are you learning about yourself? What the fuck? I'm sorry, but I don't understand it. What the fuck are you learning about yourself? All these people, they're in their 20s that are like, oh, let's do like, let's get experiences. And it's like, what the you're not learning anything. It's not about, don't you see that you had it all along? You didn't need to search for it. It was right there. It's what people have always done works for you. If you're an exceptional individual, okay, maybe yes, but assuming you're just a normal person, there's no shame in being a normal person, by the way. Everybody wants to be exceptional, where you're not fucking exceptional. You're not fucking exceptional. I am exceptional individual. But still, the things I want are pre-traditional and pre-commonplace, really, when you think about it. But you specifically are not a fucking exceptional individual. You're a normal person. And more power to you and good for you. And use that knowledge and that understanding of yourself and that honesty with yourself to claim things that are always there for you. Society is for you. You don't need to go out and have all these crazy experiences just to realize that they are irrelevant to you. I'm sorry, but they're irrelevant. And you know what? I've been having this conversation with some people with regards to maybe my days in Lisbon are numbered. Maybe I need to go search for something else. Some society that I can partake in that I feel I'm an actual member of instead of a fucking cog in a machine. Because I'm not a cog in a machine. I'm a person, and people should be treated as people, not as cogs. Not as interchangeable, psychopathic, or it's psychopathic, man, to view sex this way, to view relationships the way people view them, to view music. Like, I thought about this, even if I was top guy and I was playing like concerts with famous people that I've been listening to in my bedroom in Greece for years, and I was finally playing with them, I play concerts with them, it's like, what's the point? It's out of context. It's not about, oh, I'm now a very good musician or technically, or I have status and I can play with these guys. I don't care about playing with these guys by itself, onto itself. I care about the whole experience. Waking up and everybody treats you like they can only treat you, and you treat everybody else as you can treat only them specifically. And we all bring our advantages and disadvantages to the table, and we work with each other and we love each other in that specific way that you love a specific person, and we treat each other right to the extent of our ability, and we dance together and we play music together, and we, each does their thing. Each helps the other. Maybe I need to go live in a fucking primitive society, or I don't know what the fuck I gotta do, but this Western metropolitan thing doesn't work for me, man. It doesn't work for me. It's psychopathic. There's no community. Or rather, even worse, you get there is community, but the members treat each other psychopathically to some extent or other. It's utilitarian in the wrong way, not in the right way. There is a right way to be utilitarian. I'm trying to find that irreplaceability in people and take advantage of that. Like, I noticed when there's a guy that he plays Moden, and when we played together, there was no groove, but when he just plays on his own and I sing over it, it's good. Do this. It's good. You don't need to play together with the other person. You don't need to project onto them something specific and then they have to comply to that because it's psychopathic. No, it's them and you, and the in-between thing works. I think our society is psychopathic by design. Maybe. Maybe when societies get too large like this, they turn psychopathic necessarily. Like it's impossible. Maybe the only real place for me is like a village or a place in the world with a very limited number of people. Because then I can be the voice of the community and they can be my people. Where the fuck is home in this world, man? Where the fuck is home? All right. I'm going to leave you at that. Thanks for listening. Take care. I'll see you soon.